Good afternoon and welcome to Tynecastle for today's game between Heart of Midlothian and Raith Rovers, which we'll be bringing you live on Hearts TV in about half an hour or so. But before then, we have a special show in store for you this afternoon as we welcome on a couple of guests representing the Hearts Ladies team. First of all, delighted to be joined by new Hearts Ladies manager Grant Scott. How you doing, Grant?
Not so bad, Laurie, thanks.
Nice to have you on the show. Now, you just replaced Kevin Milne just this week.
Just this week, yes. Unfortunately, Kevin's had to resign from post. He's taken up a development role with the SFA, I believe, and time restrictions really just meant that he couldn't commit. So I've been working with Kevin for the last year at the first team squad. So I know the group, know what we're all about. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And part of that squad to be working with is Samantha Cunningham. I'm delighted to also be joined by her as well today. How are you doing, Sam?
Not bad, thanks.
And understand it's been a busy weekend for you this week, is it? Out last night for a certain birthday, was it?
Yeah, 21st birthday last night.
So luckily no game today.
No.
I don't think Grant would have been having any of that.
No, definitely not.
So first of all, a lot of listeners won't have much idea about the Hearts ladies side. Grant, so you give us a little idea of them. I know they've been doing very well recently, so you can tell us through the achievements of certainly last season and looking ahead for the team.
Yeah, probably the last 4 years has been the most notable, where we've come through from the second division, spent 2 years in the first before getting promoted at the end of last season. Last season we won our League Cup also. So around about 5 years ago there was a plan in place to really get us into that Premier Division, and thankfully we've managed it. The challenge now is just maintaining the status and being in that league and competing. So that's the most recent history.
Yep, the Scottish Women's Premier League, which was founded back in 2002, the highest level of women's football in Scotland. The team that finished off that actually qualified for the UEFA Champions League, the women's one that would be. It was only 2009, I understand, that the Hearts team became the Hearts Ladies, formerly of Musselburgh. There have been a few other teams that maybe a bit longer. I know you were involved previously. Get a few boos around this part, I suppose. You're previously involved with Hibs Ladies, who've got 3 titles to their name, and you've got Glasgow City with 9. Is that the sort of where you're looking to aim? This is obviously the work in progress at the moment. The Hearts Ladies team, obviously a little bit behind some of the teams who have been around a bit longer.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's just really the infrastructure that we had at the start, and playing catch up a little bit with the established teams that you've mentioned, City and Hibs and people like that. They're at the top end for good reason. They've got the best players, internationalists and stuff. So we really need to be in the Premier League's one thing, and we need to really try and compete at that level, and maintain our status as a Premier League club.
And Sam, I've got to throw something there. Sam, who's in her Hearts Ladies tracksuit today, which has the 1874 Fighting Fund on the front there. A certain Jimmy Sanderson made me say that out loud, but certainly has. I think they've been a big help having the 1874 Fighting Fund. They've obviously assisted with the senior side a lot as well around Tynecastle, but also with you guys as well now.
Yeah, it's self-funded, so it's good to get them involved and get some money on board so we can buy our kit. And
I know you're a Hearts fan as well, I believe.
Yes, so
there
as well.
What's it like to wear the Moon of Hearts? You've got obviously the official badge on there. Anne Budd just said she wants to be part of Heart of Midlothian as an overall club, more involved. I mean, it make you very proud to wear that on a weekly basis when you are playing. Yeah,
it does. It's great to pull on the jersey, and it's just really good that we're starting to get more recognised now, especially when Anne Budd's coming in and she's getting involved as well. So yeah, it's good.
And as a women's footballer, I mean, what's the sort of aspirations? Where can you go with that? I mean, there's obviously not as much coverage of the game, certainly in this country, but is that something you think can change going forward with a bit more exposure for the women's game?
Yeah, I'd hope so. Just try and get, like say, Glasgow City are doing well in their recent Champions League games are on the telly and stuff, so that's good. And hopefully just get more money into the game, I think.
And that's a big thing, Grant, is it? The money into the game. I know that the Hearts Ladies were talking about sponsorship, and that's something that you'd be looking at trying to get people interested in, people on board as well, just to help the team.
Yeah,
the funding side of things.
Absolutely. I mean, Sam touched on there. It's basically at the minute all self-funding. So anything we do, anything we need, equipment, kit, you name it, we have to fundraise ourselves. So players are asked to do some fundraising via individual sponsorships, so employers or supporters or wherever they can get that from. So various things like that help in the exposure, because it's not as heavily supported as obviously the men's game. It's just not the size and scale of it. But ultimately there's people doing things like that at the SFA, trying to increase the profile. And ultimately I think we're gearing towards semi or professional type leagues similar to other countries. But at this stage most clubs are probably fighting to raise funds to enable things to improve.
So tell us about it. I mean, I know there are sponsorship packages available. Can people get more information? Any more information you can give, just if anyone is listening in that might be interested in looking into that further?
Yeah, there are some details, and I think application type forms on the Hearts Ladies website.
heartsladiesfc.co.uk,
that's correct.
I believe.
Yep. So there's individual player sponsorship for the season. There's match sponsors, programme sponsorship, varying levels of value for those that could do anything like that.
And looking at games coming up, Sam, there's, I understand, a big one coming up very soon later on this month.
Edinburgh Derby next week, I think it is.
Yep, Sunday the 26th of April.
Yep.
And how often do they come about? Because I know Hibs have been a top flight one, so I can't imagine they've been very often for you.
No, well, we had playing against the Hibs development team, and they've been in the same division for a couple of years. But it'll be good to get in the big league and play the big team there. So.
I mean, I'm looking at the table. It's not something you see very often. Hibs are top of the women's table, but I suppose
I didn't know that one.
I suppose going forward, I know they are obviously a few years ahead in terms of development. That might be something you want to change. Well, both of you, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hibs are there for good reason. They're a long-established club, fantastic coach who I know. And again, the quality of player, they've got several international players and a new team this season, really, almost. A lot of signings in the close season, but they're there on merit, and they're just a bit ahead of us at the minute. But we'll look to capitalise on anything they do next week for sure. But we'll be ready. We're looking forward to it.
And so the home games are generally at Peffermill every time around, is it? So if anyone does want to come along and watch, because I know you're playing in the summer, so if anyone's at a loose end after the senior team, the senior men's team's on holiday.
Yeah, sure, the supports obviously would be welcome. We're just actually done a tie-in with Dalkeith Thistle, the junior team at the moment, so going forward from now, and that includes next week's game, that will be at Kings Park in Dalkeith, the juniors pitch. So back on a grass surface, and it's a slightly different game on the AstroTurf at Peffermill, but so that's the new arrangements: Dalkeith, Kings Park and Dalkeith.
Okay, a couple of comments on Kickback there. Jambo Ali just saying looking forward to watching them again over the summer, so that's one Jambo who obviously finding his maroon fix by going to watch the ladies in the summer. Voice of Reason, a couple of quick questions. He was interested in what kind of support the women's team gets from the club, and is that something that has started to increase since Anne's taken over? I mean, I don't know if Grant will be aware of that now, or maybe Sam, because she's been around a bit longer recently.
I think just with the kit and stuff. I think when we first started we got strips and stuff.
It was back in 09, wasn't it? There was a bit of a press release about that.
And I think we've done some photo shoots at Tynecastle just to get some exposure.
Hopefully going forward, Anne will be getting quite involved. I mean, he did also ask as well about why don't they train in the west of Edinburgh? There's a question for you, to try and get more Hearts-minded, talented female players like Sam over than the current training spot. I don't know, is it just what's available really, Grant?
Yeah, there's a bit of both. A bit of the history of the club obviously started over when we moved from Musselburgh. It was east side of town, and there a lot of the players at that particular time came from that area. But we have got players coming through from West Lothian. We have some coming up from the border, so our net and our name spreads pretty far and wide, and we do okay. Ideally probably more central to the town or west side, just to capture a bit more, but those types of things are things that are quite difficult to do. The committee and the infrastructure at the clubs and the ladies section are working more closely now probably than ever with Hearts, and Anne Budge certainly has been a great supporter of us since she came here. So we are looking at things like that just to give us more opportunities in the right area of town.
And Sam, Voice of Reason, also says, for the future of growth in women's football, should every top flight team be strongly encouraged, if not forced by the SFA to field a ladies team? Do you think that might be something that would benefit going forward? Do you think there's a lot of other girls like yourself who might be out there that just don't have maybe a big enough team to look at?
Yeah, I would say so. I think if there's more clubs, like obviously people are coming all the way from Hawick and up the borders and stuff in the town, so if every league in Scotland had one, every team in Scotland had one, it'd be a wider range.
Another one here, I suppose, is for his daughter. Actually, he's 11 and loves playing football, and he asked, do you think there'll be enough money in the women's game in 10 years time for girls like her to earn a decent full-time wage? Either of you on that one? I don't think it would develop that far.
That's almost definite. That there's the big leagues across Europe, and even in England have full-time professional athletes who that's their day job. So they're earning money, earning a living. And to be honest, I don't think Scotland's that far behind. So absolutely, 10 years time, masses of time, and the game will still grow. It's still one of the fastest growing sports around. So I have no doubt about that whatsoever.
Playing style's another thing that Voice of Reason mentions as well. He says that Robbie, obviously the men's side, has a certain style of play encourages. And Graham, what's your style of play? I suppose you're new to the job now, but what style of play would you looking to implement? And is that something that, similar to the men's game, would be filtered down? Because I know there's younger age groups as well that Hearts Ladies have. Yeah,
I mean, obviously in post for a week, it's difficult to get all your ideas over in a week before our next game, but certainly working with Kevin previously, who's done a great job at Hearts, we try and do it the right way, good habits. We try and play at a high tempo, move the ball properly, move it quickly, and okay, in a tough division this season, it's not going to come off every week, but we won't sacrifice the way we want to play just because it's tough. We have to do things the right way, and then that will filter down to all the age groups from under 9s right through to development.
And Sam, yourself, so what position do you play in?
Currently at centre back.
Currently, so is that currently is that not where your natural position in? Are you covering? Are you?
No, I've been playing there for the past couple of seasons, but I like playing centre mid as well, and I've also had my fair share at right back as well.
Very versatile. Okay. And looking forward, so in terms of your career in the game, we're talking about, Grant's quite positive about where the women's game could go. Is that something that you could envisage as a career down the line, or you think you might just miss the boat a bit? It might come around a bit too late for you.
Probably, I think so. 21 now, the other day, like I said, getting on a bit.
So how long is a women's career in the game? Is it similar to the men? Do they play on till their mid-30s as well, or is it?
I hope so.
They certainly do. I mean, there's different things with women's careers that do happen. They start families and stuff. That doesn't affect a guy's career too often. That's not sexist at all. It's just a fact. But we've got lots of evidence. Ladies playing international football and top level football right into their late 30s, no problem at all.
Oh, well, I did mention to you guys off air beforehand Suzanne Grant, formerly of Celtic, who trained when 7 months pregnant and then got back to playing 5 weeks after giving birth. You think you'd fancy doing that one, Sam, then, if it ever comes about, the scenario ever comes around?
I don't know. See what happens, I guess.
That's commitment. I mean, I'd like to see a lot of men's footballers manage to cope with those kind of strains. So looking ahead next week, Sam, what do you reckon your chances are going to be like in the big Edinburgh derby against Hibs?
I don't. You always have to go into the game thinking you're going to get something, hopefully you can pick up a point or something. You never know, but it'll be a hard task, put it that way. But we'll train hard this week and then see what happens.
And aims for this season, is it a case of just trying to establish yourself in that top flight, trying to remain in there and then gradually build from there?
Yeah, I think so. Just try and stay in the league this year and then just keep building, like you say.
Well, let's hope it does go well for you guys. Good luck next week against Hibs in the big Edinburgh derby, and good luck for the season. Thanks so much for coming on this afternoon.
Thank you.
If you want to find out more about the Hearts Ladies team, you can visit the website heartsladiesfc.co.uk. You can also follow them on Twitter at heartsladiesfc. I can give your Twitter handles out. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Don't want to publicly put them out there and you get any abuse. It should only be Hearts fans listen, so it should be alright. You can get Grant on Twitter. He's at Grant A. Scott. And you also get Sam. She's at _Sam Cunningham. All one word. So happy belated birthday, Sam.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the job, Grant.
Yes,
and as we mentioned, good luck next week. And if anyone wants to attend, as I said, it's Sunday the 26th of April, 3 o'clock if you want to go and support and cheer on the Heart of Midlothian Ladies team.